I have been watching Abbie Emmons, Sarah Sutton, and they have a Christmas story book that's they've been published. I'll leave them in the description. So what I wanted to do was something about Easter, and I've also been watching Sara Lubratt and Cavanaugh. So Sara Lubratt and Cavanaugh, they talk about their story ideas, but they haven't published anything, so I thought, well, I'm going to talk about my story idea today, even though it's not published. Contemporary romance is something that I am not used to writing. Usually I write paranormal romance, fantasy romance, sci-fi romance, or crime, mystery, thriller romance. I'm not really sure what to do. I only have about 100 words. I don't usually use the word UA, but I assume that the characters have to be under 30 years old. I'm not sure how old Abbie Emmons is, but I think Sarah Sutton is in her 20s. Her birthday is coming up, April the 9th, I think it is. Sarah Sutton lives in Michigan, which is in the north part of America, and Abbie Emmons lives in Vermont, which is again in the north part of America. They live near Canada, near the American-Canada border. So I'm just playing around with the story, and I'm thinking about Easter. And what happens at Easter is they go egg hunting. So I wanted to have something that the four women would possibly read, and I wanted to try and get into their minds. I think that they might all watch Korean romance TV shows, and so that's something that I have been watching as well. I'm sure the four of them are familiar with Twilight and Jane Eyre. I'm currently reading The Shining, which is about a hotel, and also Downton Abbey. I also like Outlander and Game of Thrones, and the movie Princess Diaries. So this is more about a wealthy, rich family. Diana Steele usually writes about rich families. And I'm also looking at Nora Robert. So if Sarah Sutton is in Michigan and Abbie Emmons is in Vermont, then that is near Canada, and Toronto, Canada is something that I'm looking at. There's a lot of mansions in Toronto. They have private lakes and they have wine cellars. So that sort of sounds very much like The Shining by Stephen King. Obviously I still want to keep this as contemporary romance. That is a difficult word to say. So I wanted a name that the four girls would be familiar with. But I also wanted to keep it royal and British. So obviously I went with Edward, and then you've got Eddard Stark in Game of Thrones. Eddard Stark is best friends with Robert Baratheon. Now Robert Baratheon said to Eddard Stark that he had a son that could marry the daughter. So Joffrey and Sansa, they get married together. So I want to incorporate that somehow into this sort of story. Sarah Sutton's characters' names are Sophia and Vincent. I want an older brother and an older sister to have younger siblings, kind of like Stranger Things. How you've got the two older siblings that know each other because their younger siblings are friends. So obviously with Edward being the name, you've got Edward Cullen from Twilight and Edward Rochester from Jane Eyre. Edward Cullen is INFJ, Edward Rochester is ENTJ. We can easily put that together and make ENFJ. A popular ENFJ character in romance novels is Jamie Fraser from The Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Jane Eyre is INFP and Elizabeth Bennet is ENFP. Watch The Princess Diaries with Mia. Mia is also INFP. So Esme Cullen is ESFJ and Catelyn Stark is ESFJ. So it's sort of like Romeo and Juliet as well. You've got two families. Except it has to be contemporary romance, so it has to be clean romance and it has to be suitable and it has to be non-violent in a way. It has to be like a sweet story. So that's what I'm working on. So far I have about 100 words. So Abbie Emmons has a book, Tessa and Weston, Best Christmas Ever. That has 218 pages. And Sarah Sutton has Christmas as We Know It with 248 pages. I probably won't try to get that many pages, but we'll see how far we can go. And I will post the video, Sara Lubratt's video, all books I want to write, with 300 likes and 4,000 views. The K-drama Cinderella and the Four Knights is something I've been watching. There's a place in Toronto, Canada, Castaluma, which is like a mansion. So I'm just sort of brainstorming. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Contemporary romance book based on Easter. Maybe it will be ready for next year, I'm not sure. Or maybe I'll just carry on and write this every Easter. I want to put out a book at some point in Easter sometime. So thank you for watching the video.